All right. We could tell by that giggle that we are with Pam Merkle today. She is awesome. One of my favorite people in the state of Missouri. And so I'm really, really excited to talk with you, Pam. Welcome to Accessible.
Thank you, George. Thank you for having me. I'm just so curious on what we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about you. We want to know all about you. Anyway, I mean, we do want to hear about you because you do such great work. You're such a wonderful person. But maybe just talk about who you are, a little bit about AADD and what you all are doing.
Okay. So my name is Pam. Hello, guys out there in Radio Land, right? So I am the executive director of the Association on Aging with Developmental Disabilities, coolest company in the entire world.
True.
It is, truly. Yeah, so big thought about it is about bringing the aging and developmental disabilities worlds together in order to provide the best possible supports and services that we can for people who are aging with a developmental disability. So we are a direct service provider primarily in the St. Louis region, and I'm quite willing to share the models that we've built that have been highly successful. We also are an education provider with an annual conference on aging with disabilities. I'm thinking we're coming up 34th, 35th, something like that, drawn international attention. Which is like seriously, we had a tap from Japan, which is kind of fun. We had 38 states in attendance last year with plus Canada and District of Columbia. So happens every year. It's in the St. Louis area. This year, if you're taking notes, which is really scary, is May 12th and May 13th. If you tagged into our website, you could put like AADD or agingwithdd.com. You would be directed to the conference tab, and it is a hot piece. Object of the game on that one is we put tools in your toolbox, so that you should be able to leave the conference and do something for the betterment of your fellow human being.
And the quality of speakers that you guys bring in, national speakers, is pretty amazing.
Oh, you ought to see the lineup this year. It's scary, like scary good. Oh, it's scary good. Yeah.
Can you hype it up on our podcast? We gotta wait.
You gotta wait. It's a secret. Okay. Yeah. But there is a big old national flavor to it too.
Who typically comes? Is this other service providers? Is it a mix? Is it policymakers? Like, who's attending?
So we actually think about people. We think about you guys, right? So there are five tracks, okay? And each one has a different thought behind it, and it's mostly because of language differences. We're all together. The commonality is we care about people with developmental disabilities who are aging, right? So I've got a track that's just for social workers because social workers speak in a certain way. I have a track for direct care entry staff, the first guys in, who are just learning. I have a track that's nursing, medical model. I have a potpourri track, and that was like some cool stuff we ran across that didn't fit in the other tracks. And then I have a secret track that's for people just who wear the label of developmental disabilities. And I had to make it secret because people kept sneaking in there, So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it is fun-filled. We had over 500 people at this conference last year.
Yeah.
I know, George. Conference. Holy moly. Yeah, it was stunning.
And I'm just going to go ahead and pat us on the back because we were on this early. We are a regular sponsor of it and will continue to be. So love it. Well, let's back up a little bit, Pam. How, I've always known you working at AADD but what was young Pam like? What was young Pam doing that led her into this career?
Still scrappy and in trouble. We'll go like that. So I was not supposed to be here. I was not supposed to be in this world at all, right? Yeah, I started out as a musician, music major, right? I always liked older folks. I needed health insurance, so I went to the local nursing home and I got a job. And I thought that they were going to hire me to entertain them, and I was wrong, So I ended up being nurse aide, and I liked them, right? And so the medical model is actually how I put myself through school. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So I did a stint. And this is one of my songs that I sing too. When you look at the future of how it is that you all can help us, right? goes to. So I was a certified nurse's assistant. That you've got a state regulated program for that. But I was a certified geriatric nurse's assistant. So I had a specialization in geriatrics.
Right.
Now in the spot that I am today, then I would like a certified geriatric a certified developmental disability nurse's assistant, because as we age, the more stuff that happens to us that might equate into behavior or some kind of change is rule out medical. There's some kind of medical element, and I would not trade my background in just that basic nursing for anything. I mean, it's dumb stuff. It's like it's following Margaret down the hall. She got her walker. She's working with the staff from another company. And I look at Margaret's leg and I say, Margaret, what is that on your leg? And the staff says, oh, that's a bug bite. And I said, maybe we ought to get that looked at because it's actually an ulcer that's tied to your heart, you know? And so they ended up taking her to the doctor, right? And so she ends up having bypass surgery. That being said, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have that level of training. So, so yeah, when I talk about bringing the aging and DD world, there's also the medical element in it. So, so the vehicle to go to school was nursing homes and hospitals. I ended up, being a cardiac monitor tech in ICUs. So I would be sitting and watching everybody's heart to make sure that they weren't having a cardiac arrest, or I was the alarm bell. You know, if you were laying up in the bed and you were in trouble and I saw you, so it would be me. It's a lot like fishing, right? It's like, you know, you get a little nibble, little PVC, whoop, you know, get ready, set the hook, and then get ready to make things happen. So I love the healthcare industry. And going to school, because I like the older people, then the object of the game was to be a nursing home administrator. And when I graduated, I had enough points to sit for my boards. I have actually my bachelor's is in business management, and I have a minor in gerontology, right? So I'm positioned. I'm positioned to go. Right. And when I graduated, there were no jobs, right? So I moved back to St. Louis. I was working in a local hospital here, where the environment was not right for me. I couldn't like get outside. I'm watching people's hearts, and the staff that I were working with were evil. So every time, because I'm old, check it out, no such thing as email. Every time I got paid, I would be sending out resumes like, get me out of here, right? And so nobody's hiring. It was the 80s. Nobody's hiring. And so the ones that responded was actually a company that supported with developmental disabilities. And I can tell you, if it would have been a company that specialized in digging ditches, I'd be the best ditch digger that you ever met, right? But they didn't call me. It was the other guys. And so out I went, right? And so I'm hired, and I have zero experience with supporting people with disabilities. But I like people, right? And then because I'm coming out of a medical world where you fix things, you're presented with a problem, fix it. And I'm in with this group of people, and they're like crying, and they're banging their heads on the wall, and they're banging the tables, and they seem to be really pissed, you know. And so and maybe you can tell, you know, I'm like, but wait, why is this happening? Why are these people so sad? Why are they crying? Yeah. What? It's you. It's what you're doing. And so I started getting in trouble. I really did start to get in trouble. And they started like talking about walking me out the door, you know, and just in lines of, because I don't think that anybody that you support or help should ever be crying over something you did. That is just wrong. Yeah. And I don't know, the attitudes that I have served me well in the organization that I'm in now, because I get to lead. The change in that is I got a new supervisor, and the new supervisor started listening and said, yeah, why are we doing this the way that we're doing it? And things really started to change. And because it was a really good, powerful company, you know, then it became a model for other things that were going on in the state. You know, I mean, so we were doing more active things with people that they were interested in. And so I didn't get fired, which is kind of cool. Yay. It was kind of cool. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. So, you know, we fast forward like 30 years later, I sit here in this chair, just started out in this company. It was a part-time spot, no benefits, $30,000 budget. It's now a $2 million budget. It's taken me a minute. And we're doing some of the coolest things to support folks that that makes me really proud of what we do, and I believe we're doing the right thing, and I know without a doubt we make a difference.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just stupid subtle. Like yesterday here, and I don't know whenever this airs. Yesterday was a full moon, and we worked like demons trying to find a speaker who will come in and talk to us about human behavior tied to the full moon. So we had full moon with an eclipse on top of it. I had never have workman's comp things, and I had two yesterday. I had a client that tried to help my staff close her trunk door on top of her head. Okay, that was one. And then the the other one goes to this beautiful man who has autism, who doesn't talk very well, and staff have supported him, and we want everybody to carry IDs because it's that's what we're supposed to do, right? And they got rear-ended, not once but three times. Same lady tapped him, not hard. Nobody got hurt, and of course he's escalating, right? I mean that's bad.
Right.
Yeah, and so the police were coming. The staff's calling, saying, "Ooh, can you send backup?" When the police got there, they were amazing, and they asked him what his name was, and he can't say it, and he produced his ID. His ID. He did. We are so off the chain, like amazing. We're just so amazed and proud of him. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but that's a difference if he were ever to get lost out there, that he can produce it without staff support. Yeah, so it's the subtle, dumb kind of things. I had a staff person who went to pick up a lady this past week, and when she stepped into the house, she says, "What is that smell?" And the lady says, "I don't know. It's been smelling like that for a week." And it's a gas leak, right? So my staff take the person, and out the house they go. They call 911, and the pilot had blown off on the furnace. So is that a subtle little thing? Is it a big deal? I don't know. But we're doing just amazing things. There's I hire the right staff, got the best staff in the world. I fill their heads with what I believe is important to support our guys. We talk often about the healthy recipe for aging. That's so when when you're with us, these things are the things that you will practice on a daily basis, which intent is to keep you alive and healthy and engaged in who you want to be. So, and that's just a litany list of what it is people do. So I'm rambling. Anyway, so I'm still here. I didn't get canned. I've got 14
Thank
different.
goodness.
I know I've got 14 different projects going that I think are some of them are being published, and they're going nationwide. Like, what the heck? Yeah. So
I was going to say, Pam, I just love how you first job in the field of DD, and you showed up with all the curiosity, right? I was like, what's going on here? And why do we do this way? And, why are people acting this way, instead of just ascribing things to a person's disability? But you were like, what is it about the environment, and what a change agent you were in that circumstance? And anyways, I'm getting to know you. Obviously, George has known you for a while, but just meeting you in the last few minutes on this call and hearing some of your values come through is really cool. The field is lucky to have you.
very kind. I actually look for some of those same traits that I look for staff who have gotten in trouble in their past job, because they're the ones that are they're gonna advocate for somebody, and they're gonna ask why, or they're gonna find a cost savings, or they're going to think outside the box. I also look for people who came up without a lot of resources. I look for people who came up on a farm or came up in an urban setting where you were in scramble trying to find something to eat. Because we have no money, right? We're all kind of poor. So if you hand me a stick, I can give you 100 things to do with the stick, that are no cost, that are interesting, that are, that creative piece is what I'm looking for too. So those out there in Radio Land that are listening, man, I am hiring, right? So these are the traits that I'm looking for. All right?
Here you go. You want to work with Pam.
Yeah, you have to be funny. There was a study that was done on us a few years ago. Oh my gosh, and there's this big old long educational word that's tagged to us, and the question was, why is it that you are successful in teaching people with developmental disabilities who are older? Why are you successful? And the two findings came up with: our guys trust us, and that's because we do what we say we're going to do. If somebody said that they were going to be there at 9 and they couldn't make it, there's somebody else who knows you that's going to be there. And then the second component was that we're funny, like funny haha. And that
Yeah.
really goes to, if somebody pees on your shoe, you need to like laugh and shake it off and keep moving, because human bodies leak, and we don't want them to do that. And try and do that proactive thing of offering the bathroom, frequently. Yeah.
And the older you get, the more they leak.
Oh my gosh! And our niche is for those people who are over the age of 50 who are leakier than, yeah. For when you're
Yeah.
young, you leak, and then you grow out of that, and then man, it comes back again and gets you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was a crazy kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, just that you like have research to back up that being funny
being
matters.
funny matters. Being funny, and here, a learning environment that's fun. People are gonna learn. They're gonna learn, and you can switch up all kinds of environments. They all should be fun, and they should match the person. You know, yeah.
Hmm.
Like if y'all put me in a cubby hole, and made me wear those high heel shoes, and my feet are hurting, all that does is make me mad. So
Yeah.
there's more information than you wanted.
Pam, you talked about like the recipe for aging well.
Okay, that's the stuff that they taught us when we were little kids, right? They said that we were supposed to have good nutrition. Okay, our nutrition sucks. If you came here, most everybody's overweight. And we keep like working at that. So at least we're like talking and teaching about good nutrition. Exercise is something we cannot use the word, because my guys are smart. We're all really freaking smart. And if you say, "Oh, let's go exercise," they're going to say, "No, I like this chair
Yeah.
right here." Yeah. So we actually dance a lot. We do things. We walk a lot. So exercise being a good core component of what it is that, if you're out with one of my peeps, then it's one of the things that you're doing. Um, Cognitive stimulation therapy, we use it in more of a looser term, so that one goes to using your brain so it doesn't turn to mush. We put
Hmm.
elements of competition into what it is that we do, because not everybody's a winner, right? And how is it that you either lose gracefully or you really trash talk well, right? So, like, seriously, you and I are going to do it, George. If we're playing cards or
Yeah.
something, I'm coming for you, right? So,
I know it. Yeah.
yeah, my guys here have the same attitude. So even a game like Uno, right? You got a group of people together. It's pretty cutthroat, and it's number recognition, color recognition, turn taking. We still all help each other out while we're fixing to stomp you. And actually, like
Yeah.
most everything we do, there's another sneaky reason behind it. And that one
Yeah.
goes to the destiny of the bulk of my people are heading for long term care. All right. They didn't produce children that are going to watch over
Hmm.
them. So, what does that mean? All right. So, all of a sudden, maybe your body's not doing real well and you need a higher level of care. There's a pecking order in long term care, and you fall towards the bottom, right? You're just right underneath
Yeah.
the guys who have dementia. So, how is it that I can put power, okay, power back in people's hands? And it's to teach them a skill that they're very, very good at. So, to take a deck of Uno cards and you live in the home and you go to the smartest little old lady there and say, "Will you play cards with me?" And then you whoop her, like whoop her bad. So she's crying. You might or whoop her, but you know what? She's looking for something to do too. And she's going to come back and say, "Will you play with me again?" And maybe
Uh-huh.
relationships can be developed. So yeah, we've done some like reverse integration kinds of things where our guys have gotten into long-term care situations which we've chosen. So we have a presence in there, which is really fun. And then we have our guys that are going and visiting, and so everybody's playing Uno, and then the other little old people have come and joined us. So like some, just kind of cool stuff, because a big part of what we do is anti-loneliness also. What is it that
Uh-huh.
you did to do? What did you do today in supporting that person so that they're not as lonely as they were? We work a lot on identity. So my guys over the age of 50 have named themselves senior hotshots. They chose the name. It is a big deal. It's almost like a subdivision of the ARP, and you say,
Yeah.
"Who are you?" "Well, I'm a senior hotshot." And they will find each other and invite each other in. My assistant director's gone to like a sheltered workshop to meet with somebody and have a lady running through the workshop with her ID saying, "I turn 50 next month. I want to join the senior hotshots." I mean, so the intensity, yeah. So I mean, that sense of belonging is like a big deal. And then
Hmm.
I've got another model that works on. So I am is something that you hear a lot here. I am this. Okay, I am a senior hotshot. But then staff support them on developing skills that they can do independently. Where it says, I am a fisherman. I'm a gardener.
Hmm.
I make hats for newborn babies. I'm an artist, and by the way, I'm donating your stuff to your trivia night. I am this, and don't mess with me. Which I thought was kind of cool. We used to work a lot on balance training, and still try to
Mhm.
do that. We know that in practicing balance training, it's an anti-fall risk, right? Because we don't want people to fall. Things kind of messed up during COVID, and so we're still working our way back to where it is because people they lost some skills, which is kind of a drag. The
Yeah.
reminiscence also would be exercise in your brain, taking you back to times that really stretching what it is that you remember. So that those core things are happening every day if you're with us.
So when someone comes to you, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but someone comes to you for services, do they get the whole menu of your projects, or how do you support an individual person? So
Well,
I'm
I mean,
I'm
so they can be. I mean, the more likely than not, they got referred by another person who wears a label.
uh-huh.
Referrals
Yeah.
come in from case managers. Referrals come in from families. It's all word of mouth. I'm not marketing
Hmm.
because why? I don't know, because I got a waiting list. I have lines of folks, right?
Yeah.
So then it's about having a conversation with the person on, well, what do you want to do? What is it that you need? Why are you making this call? And then
Hmm.
trying to, like, man, the call 2 days ago goes to a lady who just lost her 90 some odd year old mom. So she's
Hmm.
rattling around in her house by herself trying to figure out what to do, and her whole world is just like imploded, and she's,
Yeah.
lonesome polecat. So I can see which way she's going. And then it seems like once they get in and they make friends, then they talk to each
Hmm.
other and they say, oh, well, you should come and do this one. So that one's kind of a hoot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it depends. I mean, so everything's capped because you only have X amount of dollars, right? For X amount of people. Yeah.
Right.
So I had a lady for the social clubs program because I'm overhearing, right? Because they said we dance a lot, we party a lot. And she says, well, how do I get into there? And she says, well, there's only so many spots, and you can't have my spots until I die. And I thought, oh, that is commitment, that's commitment. Yeah. I mean, this is
She's a
goofy.
lifer.
Yeah, she's a lifer. Yeah, but like so sincere. So, but yeah,
So
So,
is
Oh.
there an end to services, or is it, can you be a lifer like this person
oh
who's
my
like,
god.
I'm going to be in the dance club for life, or is it, how does
So,
that work?
so check it out. My attitude is till death do us part. Till death do us part. Because I mean, the way that we support people, I also think is subtly different than maybe what I see other organizations do. Hey, we're not pulling any power here. I don't believe that I'm any better than anybody, and so I'm not going to say, you need to do this. You need to, yeah, no towering over people, no pushing power, no, yeah, so I think I'm smarter than you. None of that. So that's a big deal. An expectation is that people play to their strengths, right? So, like, I can't, man, driving in St. Louis, I cannot find my way out of a box. And I can't begin to tell you how reliant I am on the person that's riding shotgun. And just because, again, they might wear a label that I don't necessarily have, I need them, and they're always
Hmm.
laughing. They're laughing,
Right.
but they get me where I need to go. So expectation is, man, you have strengths, please use them because I need you. At the ball game last night, again, I can't find my way out of a box, and I really am quite distraught. I am distraught. Don't make me go to the ball game, okay? But they needed my help, so I went. And you know what? I wanted to be with them. And so, like, on the van, we're going there. I was like, you guys, do not leave. Don't lose me. Don't lose me. And yeah, I said that last year, and I had two guys. One took one arm and one took the other, and they marched me right into a pole. But they didn't lose me, and they weren't. They yeah one yeah they missed that. I was the monkey in the middle thing. Yeah, but that the guys step up and they know that we value them and trust them that they are going to watch over us and take care of us like we do them. So I think
Hmm.
those expectations really make my guys like rise. You know, we also have because there's so many of us, and because we do gather as a mass, we're a powerful group. In that, and again because I don't know. Because sometimes I have these harebrained ideas that goes to I was aggravated because people were rude in my community. There was no
Uh-huh.
please, thank you, social game, whatever. And I stood up in front of the crew and I said, look, you guys can help because I'm just aggravated. I said, you guys, if you would model model for our community, because you see it's missing. You guys are saying please and thank you, and we practice the manners. The place that we're at, you've got real live plates, you have white napkins, you have a white tablecloth. So you're using your napkin, you're helping out your fellow guy, you're wiping your mouth, you're saying please or thank you whenever the server comes. And I said, those things that you do here, please, can you just model for the rest of the community? If somebody needs the door open, will you model that? Will you open that door for them? And so the guys as a group like rose up to do that. It backfired on us a little bit at COVID as fellow humans that are watching over community. So man, mask wearing, right? And people still have to go out. They still have to get groceries. We're trying to, like lessen that as much, but you still have to go do your stuff. So in modeling, we've got our masks on, but you go into the stores and some of the people wouldn't, right? And so my
Right.
guys are going, hey, how come you don't have your mask on? What are you thinking? Are you trying to woo? Yeah, and so then more teaching occurred on how it is to like back off of that and maybe not do it. So so as a group, and again they're talking about what we need to do in order to be better. They're out there doing it. So again, I'm so proud. I'm so crazy proud. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the coolest people in the entire world. So I'm quite blessed. There.
I think what you need to bottle up, Pam, is that energy and that excitement and that enthusiasm for the work, and then teach. Is that the toolbox for the conference? How to do that? How to
No.
carry that on?
No, talk to any of my staff. They're just good as gold. Talk to my board. They're amazing. Talk to my funders. We all have that same energy. We're all committed and together, right? We're working as a team.
Do you cover just the whole St. Louis region? How big is your staff?
Oh, I've got 48. Most are part-time.
Wow.
Some are full-time. Yeah, surprise. I'm in St. Louis City, where we've got the biggest concentration, St. Louis County and St. Charles County. So, and different groups of folks, then they fund different services that they're interested in. So, yeah. But again, crazy good partnerships, I mean, like total hats off for St. Louis Office for DD Resources, partner, Productive Living Board partner, Developmental Disabilities Board partner, UMKC partner, SLU partner, State of Missouri, case managers, we get to play with them. Their hearts are in the right place, Yeah, so it's about partnerships, you guys, and it's about banding together to try and do the right thing.
Hey, do you know what our tagline is here at UMKC IHD?
What is it? I actually read it.
Partnerships for effective social change.
There you go.
And so that's why we're with you.
Yeah. Yeah. We band together. We are powerful.
Yeah. So when you think, Pam, about like the young folks that are getting ready to enter our field or thinking about entering it, like what sorts of advice or what things should they be thinking about as they're moving into our field?
Oh my gosh. So understand that I am old. We'll go like that. And for some reason, my parents put a work ethic in me, which I partly resent, but it is like who I am because I don't know how not to work. And I think maybe the younger guys coming in are doing better self-care. I'm not sure. And so is that smarter than me? It probably is. But what is that here? So I need you to be prepared to come to work. And when you're there, work. If you're hungry, you're gonna grab food as you go, but it's not about stopping work in order to do food. Come to work and understand that it's a job, and people need you. They desperately need you because without you, there are stupid things like gas leaks or being lost or bed bugs like ate them all up. Or I mean, there's some pretty hardcore stuff that we do, and if you are absent from that, then they lose. Our fellow human beings lose. They lose everything. They lose their health. They lose their homes. They lose everything. So be prepared to come to work and be prepared to use your head in the most creative way possible that is legal and ethical. Okay, don't forget that because those are,
the two cornerstones, legal and ethical.
yeah. And ensure that you're heard, but do it in a respectful manner, okay? And if for some reason you're at a place where people aren't listening, then you've either got to find a different set of ears, or look at creating something that's going to be a benefit to your match. Those are just odd, weird things, but
Hmm.
yeah,
I think they're great.
yeah.
And you're right.
Come to work and be on time. Be on time is be on time. I have no tolerance for late. I mean, that just shows disrespect, and I never
Hmm.
ever ever want to see my people like standing at a window waiting for somebody to come. That is not fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that
I'm with you.
goofy? Yeah, goofy. See, sorry,
No, I think it is.
sorry.
It's right on.
I'm older than you, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I am in the senior hot shots. I could be. I don't know. I might not be.
50, baby. 50. Are you 50 yet?
Oh yeah. I've sailed right past that.
Did you? Wait till you hit
Yeah.
65, man. It's like a switch hits. It's not. It's wrong. It's weird. More things are fall. Like more like you wake up. It's like, well, today I'm 65, right? And then something fell off. What?
Well, that's how I felt when I hit 55. So,
Well,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Well, no, there really are like markers in there. Like I can't.
Mhm.
John Morley said there's and maybe it was 50. At 50, like all of a sudden your vision got better, and then like
Mine did, yeah.
yeah, and then it goes to crap, worse than it was before. It is like amazing, and subtle things like 30. At 30, your hair texture turning different, and your fingernail whatever.
You guys are starting a circle of friends right now over aging. There you go.
Yeah, it's over aging. Yeah, that actually is true. Yeah, that actually is true. It's all about health, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always said, oh my God, I always had good hair and pretty feet, right? Now I got that toe fungus, so now I'm down to good hair. What the hell? Oh my God, yeah. Here, things we do as staff, or is it important? Like here, a couple times a year we do a foot check, right? Like
Uh-huh.
I don't know, did you ever figure out how to like keep clipping your toenails? And
Yeah,
sometimes
good one.
when you help a person take their shoes off, you are like, oh my God, what happened here? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and like toenail care is free. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that's what
Well,
we do for a living.
so if people want to learn more about all of your cool projects and you, what can they do? Where can they go?
Oh my gosh. So we've got a website, right? I think it's agingwithdd.org. If you really wanted to have a conversation, like it's pick up the phone. 314
Old
647
school.
Go old school. I talk lots faster than I type. And I will spill my guts until you have to cut me off, because again, I think what we're doing has value. I think it's the right thing. Yeah, and I think it works. So, and some of it's really subtle, but it works. So,
Yeah.
mm,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you, Pam. You're
Oh my
the
God.
best.
No, George, you're the best.
Not even.
It's been a real pleasure, Pam.
Oh my gosh, a pleasure for all of you. So, if you need anything, holler up. Be glad to help you. Okay?
Oh, we will. We
All
will.
right.